we're still got a lot to do. So we're in Nashville for Warp today with
Isis Queen for Barb Dolls.
how's Warp been treating you? No bad luck yet?
Oh no, we've had total bad luck. Our bus broke down on the way up to our first show in Seattle, and we had to rough it until just recently where we got another bus, and then that is right now in the shop because it also had some technical difficulties. So buses don't like us this summer, but Warped Tour has been great. I mean, we finally get to play to the youth, which is, we have a message in our music, which is really important because the youth are the next generation and they're going to make everything happen.
It's a very optimistic outlook. I know.
You ought to be optimistic. You ought to be optimistic.
I know a lot of bands are just like, we hate these damn kids, but that's
no, man, the kids are the ones that, they're the next generations. They're the ones that are going to change everything. I mean, if you don't play to the kids, then your music's not going to go anywhere.
So you mentioned you guys have played, 500 shows, you said, or wait, is it you?
We've done 800 shows headlining around the world, 25 countries. In the beginning, we were a very DIY band. And then Motorhead's singer, the legendary Motorhead, Lemmy Kilmister, discovered us in Los Angeles when we were doing a residency at the famed Whiskey A Go-Go, and he wanted to take our band and put out our music with his label called Motorhead Music, and we're the only band that he discovered, the first and the last band that he discovered really on Motorhead Music, and it's an honor. He wanted to take our music and be a part of his legacy. It's a huge honor. So
out of all those shows you've played, what is the biggest stage nightmare you've ever had?
Stage nightmare?
Yeah.
I don't think I've had any nightmares on stage. It's just in the buses. Yeah.
Well,
no, but we've done a bunch of festivals that 80,000 people, huge festivals. And I personally like big stages because you get to run around, you get to, really express yourself in a different way. But, we've done festivals all around the world, and Warped Tour is just that cherry on the top.
Yeah, definitely. What is the weirdest thing you've ever seen during your years as a musician?
We once had a haunted RV. Like I said, our buses are not our thing. We did. It was a haunted RV.
Start saging that.
And it did not want to leave out of New Mexico. And it did whatever it could, the poltergeist, to keep us in New Mexico. It's the land of entrapment, not enchantment. Yeah.
Of all the songs you've ever written, which one are you the most emotionally invested in?
Well, from our debut album, coming from Greece, Crete, we've had a lot of economic strife, and everything that's going on in the world politically, is just the same that's going on in all the countries. Things are changing right now, and so we wrote a song called Revolution, and it's about people uniting together and knowing what's going on and being aware of it. And in order to do that, then you can take, who you are and live your dream and go out there and change things for yourself. It's not about fighting the man. It's about knowing what the man's doing and then appreciating your life and then taking that and expressing yourself. There's so many avenues of expression through art and creation, and that's the biggest fuck you can tell anyone, is when you're living what you want to do in the way you want to do it and being aware of everything around you.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have any songs off of your most recent record that you would consider the black sheep of the record? Out there?
Well, we recorded the album out in Joshua Tree Desert in California at this amazing studio called Rancho de la Luna. And the studio is owned by Dave Catching, and Dave Catching is the guitarist of Eagles of Death Metal and was in Queens of the Stone Age. So this studio is like the birthplace of all these amazing bands that came out of the desert rock scene, like Queens of the Stone Age, Eagles of Death Metal, Caius. And so we were invited to go record at the studio. And then the day that we confirmed that, the Paris attacks happened at the Bataclan for the Eagles of Death Metal show. And we didn't even know if we were going to keep, go and record there, because after everything that happened, maybe, he'll close up the studio because, there was a huge terror attack. But no, Dave told us, the music must go on, and we were the first band to go into the studio after those Paris attacks happened. And so there's a lot of energy going on, and we recorded the whole album in those 3 days before we went into this, we created these songs 3 days before we went into the studio. And so every song has a very, is very different from each other. There's not, one song that sounds like the other. They're all the black sheep of everything that's out there in music today. And you got your, political songs, you got your emotional songs, and these songs came out of pure frustration for what's going on in the world today, and an emotional strife that needs to come out.
You guys have an amazing history as a band. Definitely don't have a boring upcoming story.
No, there's buses breaking down, and we traveled the world. We got a story for every circumstance, for sure. Yeah.
Do you have a place in your hometown, or your home country, I guess I should say, that's your favorite place to play?
Well, we come from an artist commune, and the artist commune is in Crete, Greece. It's a big island south of Greece. And when we started the band, no one booked us. And we were part of the rock scene and everything, but because we were a punk band and we were doing something different, nobody was interested in booking us. We were too loud, we were too snotty. It wasn't the time for that. The crisis hadn't hit yet, and we wanted to do something different that nobody else was doing. So there were no punk bands on the island. So we couldn't play, but we would come from an artist commune, and we'd put on free shows every Friday and bring people up to the village where the artist commune's from, and so that a scene could start. And something started, and then some bands started forming, and we did the same thing. We went to the capital, Athens, and we took the 9-hour boat ride to go play there. We did the same thing. We found a bar, and we started playing every Sunday, and bands started forming, and then a scene started forming. And now to this day, there's so many bands that are punk influenced, and a lot of it has to do with starting something new, which is what Barb Dolls did.
It's absolutely amazing. I've had some boring interviews today, so it's like, this is so interesting to me. All right, I think that's about where we'll leave it. Do you have anything else you'd like to leave with your fans?
Just, there's no excuses, there's no compromising, and there shouldn't be any apologies. If you want to do something with your life, there's no better time in history than to do it right now. So live it up, spread that fire that you have burning inside of you, and we'll see you in the pit.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, my dear. So awesome.
How can you miss someone you never met? I crave thinking about the wasted breath, the wasted youth I wasted on you. How can you miss someone so quick to forget? Illogical and separate so easy.